Hi, I'm Mark with Hothead Headliners. We're here with the Bronco headliners, and we're going to show exactly how to install them. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to take acetone and a clean rag. If you don't have acetone, you can use rubbing alcohol, denatured alcohol, exactly the same thing. This is just a little stronger solvent, but they'll both work. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to get a rag wet. Now I guess the first thing I need to say is to install the Bronco headliners, you need to take the two front panels off and then the middle section off. The rear section you can install with it in, but the other sections you're going to have to take out. Okay, so I have a clean rag. Now if you look at the back of the panel, you can see where the strips are going. You're going to get one right here. You're going to get a couple right there. You're going to get one right here. There's another little one here. Two right there. One right there. Now, if you have the Sound Assassin, which is going to go right here on the front panels, you're going to want to clean this whole section. If you don't have that, all you got to do is a little piece right in the middle where that Velcro is going to go. I'm going to get this wet again. You want to have this pretty wet when you do it. Because even if your Jeep's brand new, at the dealership, they often clean them with, I don't know, Armor All on a rag maybe, that would really impede the tape from sticking. Okay, so we have that clean. The next thing we're going to do is take this piece of Sound Assassin. We're going to put it right in the middle of this. It can go basically right up against there. And the way to do it is you just peel it back. Peel about halfway back. Stick it on like that. Just pull the rest off. And then you're going to take this little roller we give you. And you're going to roll it down really good. You kind of want the little texture in it to flatten out pretty much. Make sure you get the edges really good. And this stuff works really good at dampening vibration. And this will even block a lot of the heat right here in the middle. Our headliners do amazing for that. Okay, so now we're going to take this Velcro strip and we're going to put it right in the middle of here, which is going to be apparent why we're doing that. In just a second, you don't have to clean this again. This Velcro will stick to this really good. The placement of it is not really important anywhere in the middle of this section. Make sure you go down in that like there. Again, take your roller. Pull it down really good. Okay, now that piece that I showed when I showed what the headliners are, it's just a piece of soft foam, and it's going to fill in this big gap here because the headliner panel is rather flat. This just kind of holds it in place. The Velcro sticks to that, so that's all it does. It's not super important that if it was off to the side a little bit, it would work fine too. Okay, now this panel, there's only one way for it to go on. You can see it has this little drop down on one side. That goes into this little dip right here, so you can't see underneath it. So that's how it's going to go, just like this. So what we need to do is flip it over, peel all this tape off, and this tape's kind of hard to get off, but if you take a knife, you can get it started pretty easy. Okay, so I thought I wouldn't make you sit through peeling all this. That only took me about 2 minutes probably to start all those and pull them back. So now I'm just going to pull them all off, exposing all of the tape. And this tape's really good. It's not going to immediately stick until you push down. So I can lay the panel here. I'm just laying it down because we have to kind of reposition it. What we got to do is make sure that all these buckles go through their motion and will fit, that they're not really hitting on anything. That's what you have to make sure. Every one of them can spin without hitting the headliner. Okay, so they're all in a good spot right now. So now all we got to do is just push down. We know that those little tabs were right on the end and right on the ends. And then there's one right here. And what you want to do is push as firm as possible and hold. Push and hold. Push. Spin it around. Hopefully you have a table that you can do this on. You can also put a blanket down and do it on the ground if need be. The warmer it is, the better. You don't want to try to do this. 3M calls for it to be at least 70 degrees. The warmer it is, the softer the tape is, and the better it sticks. You can feel where those little things are, so try to push down right over the top of them as firm as possible. Push and hold, and that's it. This panel is completely stuck on. It's not going to come off. That piece in the middle's down there, so it kind of fills in this whole gap in there, plus the Sound Assassin's in there. You can tell how solid that sounds now compared to how it's been. Okay. Okay, so here's the driver's side. The driver's side panel is a little bit shorter. The other one has tabs that go out this way. There's no way you can put them on wrong because they just don't fit. What you do is dry fit them before you pull any of this off. Set them in there. You'll see exactly where they go. I've already cleaned this. I've got the Sound Assassin down, which is exactly like the other panel. Put this strip of Velcro in. I'm going to just sit this in here, just like this. Just kind of hold into place. I have all this started. I'm going to pull it all off. Set it all right there. And again, this tape won't just immediately grab. It's easier if you have this thing up, then it's out of your way. You can kind of see where it goes, so you just set it down where you think, and then go through the motions with each of these. There's a little more gap here than here, so I want to move it just a little bit. You don't want it, it almost just barely touches all the way around. That one needs to come this way here. Clear, clear. Okay, so once you're clear everywhere, then you just start pushing down. And for the other bigger panels, you're going to have a cardboard square to push with. The acetone will make your fingers white, but it washes right off. Push down, hold. Push down, hold. And you can see I'm pushing down pretty much most of my weight. I tend to push really hard. There's only a couple factors with this tape, and it is how clean your top is and how firmly you push down. The tape lasts temperature-wise up to, 3M says 450 degrees. I wouldn't think it would go that hot, but your top is never going to get over about 180. Like this way. And there it is. This panel is firmly stuck in place. Okay, here we have the middle section. It would be extremely hard to try to install this with it in Bronco because it'd be hard to orient these pieces, and it has to fit on there exactly in the right spot. So we've taken it off, which I think you should always take it off. You do not have to take the back section off, and you'll see why. So we have this piece here. The first thing I want you to do is take the panel and dry fit it. So you can see that it's not going to cover up. It goes right into that groove there, exactly where it goes, right to the edge of this, okay? Because the reason I really want you to see that, just so how it fits, but if you do have the Sound Assassin, then you won't try to go past this area, and if you did, you'd be able to see it or past this, which you don't want to do. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to clean where the tape's going to go, and we can see the piece is going to hit about right here, 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 and there. And if you have the Sound Assassin, you're going to want to clean in those areas also. And I'm going to show you right where that's going to go. Now if you have the Sound Assassin, it's going to go right in this first big groove, and it's going to go right up against here, and the tape's going right here, so you might as well just clean this whole area real good. See the dirt coming off of that. My Bronco's a bit dusty. Let's get a little more of this. This stuff dries almost immediately. Okay. It's a good idea to keep the lid on it. So knock it over. Okay, so from there, we're going to take 4 strips of the Sound Assassin. We'll explain the placement of it. And then you're going to get 2 smaller pieces. The 2 smaller pieces are going to go right here and here. So these pieces, we're just going to go kind of right in the middle. So just peel a little back. Stick it right in the center of that. You got to be a little careful. The edges of this can be sharp. We cut it with a die cutter, and sometimes it makes the edges a little bit sharp. Don't go past that, and you can just go right up against the edge of this. And you just get your next piece, put it right up to there. Now, if you put it right against that, right in this groove, you don't have to worry about the 3M hitting it. The one thing you do not want to do is you do not want to put this underneath where the 3M's going to hit. The 3M's going to hit about right here, and right here. If you stuck the 3M on top of this, the weight of the panel would pull this off. So you don't want to do that. Take a ruler. And again, you want to roll it down really good on the edges, but basically it takes most of the waffle pattern out of it. Okay, that's all in really good. The next thing we're going to want to do is we want to get some blue painter's tape. I'm just going to set this in place real quick. There it goes. We're going to get blue painter's tape. Do not use regular masking tape. Blue painter's tape will stick to this and just pull right off and leave no residue. That is what you want. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to mark, put a little piece of blue painter's tape over the top of each of these strips. So we know once this panel's in place that we need to push exactly in that line. So I'm just going to take a little piece like this, see where it's at, put it right over the top. Same with the center. Top of it. Okay, so that's where it is. I'm going to flip it over, peel the tape off. And as I showed you before, it's much easier to do with a knife. Just get the edge under it. What I do is I don't pull it all the way off, I just get it started. The longer the tape is exposed, and I don't know how accurate this is, I just always feel like the longer the tape is exposed, it loses some of its stickiness. So I try to leave most of it covered up. Until I'm ready to pull them all off. To try to do it with your fingernail is a real pain. Okay. Pull them all off of there. Send to the side. I'm going to grab this panel. And again, this tape, it doesn't stick real bad until you push down. You'll be able to alter it a little bit. See, this one's a little tight compared to this way, so we can move over a little. And the weight of it is getting it to stick a little. This is why you wouldn't want to try to do it in the car. You can turn all the way. This one you can't. This one. Turn all the way, turn all the way, turn all the way. Okay, so the buckles turn all the way. Once I can do that, I'm going to start pushing down. So once you get it all set in place, just push down a little bit. It's kind of set. And then you're going to take the square that we're going to send you. And you're going to go push, slide a few inches, push, slide a few inches, push. Now this might be easier to do if you're on the ground just because you get a lot more leverage. Now see, I'm going to push right in line with that. I'm going to turn around and get the other side. One of the things, if you were on the ground, you'd just be able to lean over it, lean your weight onto it. And that is it. That piece is stuck. We pull these off. Hey, this one sounds solid. Very solid too. All right, now we're going to show you how to do the rear one. All right, we're going to do the rear area. The first thing we're going to do, like always, is clean it with acetone. Since you're working inside the Bronco, you want to make sure that rag's not going to drip. So you might have to get in and out a couple times. This stuff dries so quick. We are putting sound assassin in it, which again is going to go right in these grooves and then right against this ridge right here on both sides, and the tape's going to stick about right in the middle of that. I don't know if you see the orange line, that my top came like that from Ford. I'm going to get it wet once again. Make sure it's not going to drip. You can see the stuff dry almost immediately as you wipe it. And there's a rule, if you want to wipe it twice, it's probably a good thing. You can't be too clean. Okay.
Go.
Okay, so we have 4 of these Sound Assassin strips we're gonna put in the back. One of them is gonna go right in this groove. Now, I dry fit the top first, which I think is a good idea. This first ridge back here where your top goes, it does not go past that. So you wanna make sure you don't go past that. The other way, you could go all the way to the edge. But what we're gonna do, because these are a little bit shorter than that, is just start back about 1 inch from that point, and then you don't have to worry about it. Just peel it back, push it up. It's a little bit harder to work upside down than when we were sitting on a nice table, but it's still fairly easy to do. I'm just getting it stuck, and then I'm going to roll it up with the roller. Okay, we have all our Sound Assassins stuck up there. Now we got to roll it all down. Again, you can tell when it's rolled down good because it's pretty smooth. It smashes the little waffle pattern in it. Okay, that's that. Okay, we're going to put blue painter's tape over the top of where all the tape on the back is. So if you just put your panel on a table like this, look, when you push down, we know to push right in line with the tape underneath it. What we're going to do is we're going to show you, we're going to dry fit this thing in here first before we pull the tape off, because this one is a little bit tricky to get in, not hard at all once you know how to do it. But the first time you do it, you don't want the tape to be off it, and it really to be hard for you. Okay. So all this tape is on now, we're going to put it in. There will be stickers on the back of your panel showing the orientation, but I can tell you this part goes to the front, the curved part goes to the back. Okay, so the way to do it is take your panel like this, put it in kind of one corner at a time. It goes right up over the sound bar. You can see that. You can get it just far enough to where it slips past the shock, and then it starts going over this way. And it just slides into place. You go up just a little bit. There's a lip in the back right up here, so I'm going to push it up all the way and pull it back. So now it's sitting on that lip and it's sitting there, and I can go ahead and get in. Okay, so from here, what you want to do is take your fingers, grab the sides of it. Okay, we're not going to actually install it, but you're going to just practice at this. Push it all the way to the back, and you can feel side to side when it's even, because the side of the hard top drops down, so you can feel when it's even. And once it's even, you just push up. And all you gotta do is push up a little and it's stuck, and then you can go ahead and push up all the way. So we're gonna pull it out right now and pull the back of the tape off. Okay. I'm going to pull all the strips off. One of my blue tape things came off. Tied it in place. Now it's probably not even going to touch anything. It's come back, it's perfect right there. Get in place. As you can see, some of my tape has come off. Now I know where these things are, but if that happens to you, I did it during the dry fit. Just dry fit it, then put the tape on, and then you won't have to worry about it coming off. Okay, so we have the panel in place. We want to slide all the way to the back. Make sure it's all the way back. And it goes up over the top of this lip. Can you shine that in here and see? So you can see what we're looking at. There's a lip right here, and it goes right up in top of that. Right up in there, okay? Okay, so now I'm feeling side to side. You can tell when it's even. And I'm just gonna push up. And you kind of feel it, kind of click. It catches. Okay, from there, what you want to do is take your little square, and it worked. It's really hard if you're like this pushing up. I mean, if you're young and really strong and got great shoulders, you can do it like that. I'm getting a little older. It's a lot easier for me to lay on my side like this and push up because I got a lot of leverage that way. And what you want to do is push and hold. Push and hold. Push and hold. And just slide a couple inches each time. The one thing you're not going to do is push up too much. I'm going to turn over and do it the other way. Just need to get this last side over here. And the absolute best practice, if you can do this, if it's hot outside, install this top, put all your pieces back on, let your Bronco sit in the sun for 10 or 15 minutes. What happens is the top gets hot, it makes the tape really soft, and then push up again. And then it is absolutely stuck. But that just is the best absolute way to do it. If it's only 70 or 80, just really take your time, push up a couple times as good as you can. And that's it.